Welcome to the deep dive. Ever look down at your hands and just think, wow, they look maybe a bit older than you feel? Or perhaps you're just fighting that constant battle with dryness, the redness, maybe even cracked skin.
Oh, yeah. So many people deal with that.
Especially, right, colder weather or, gosh, all the hand washing we do now. It feels like everyone struggles with it sometime.
Absolutely.
So if that sounds like you, well, you're definitely not alone. Today, we are taking a real deep dive into this. It's such a common problem. But we're going beyond just, grabbing another lotion off the shelf.
Right. There's more to it than that.
Our mission here isn't just to tell you what to do, but really to arm you with the why. We want you to understand the science underneath it all, the surprising stuff that actually leads to real healing. We're going to try and cut through the noise, give you a perspective that's genuinely informed. It could honestly transform your hands.
That's absolutely right. And I think what we're going to uncover today, it'll really change how you think about your skin. Because, the real answer isn't just about what you're putting on your hands. It's also about this incredibly complex, invisible world living on your skin.
The microbiome.
Exactly. And even what you put into your body. We're going to unpack some pretty eye-opening science. And once you grasp that interconnected why, the results you get will be so much better and, importantly, longer lasting.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's unpack this. So when we think dry hands, the mind jumps to the obvious things, right?
Yep.
Like winter air, maybe not enough vitamin D.
Common factor.
Yeah, those can definitely play a part. But what our research showed is there's a much deeper story happening. And it starts with some, surprising dangers maybe hiding right in your bathroom cabinet.
Yeah.
You might actually be shocked to find out what's really in some of those lotions you reach for every single day.
It's quite illuminating when you look into it. A really key insight is that so many popular products, countless lotions, are based on petroleum.
Petroleum, like oil-based.
Yeah. In fact, a pretty significant chunk, like over a fifth, maybe 22% of all personal care products contain things like solvents, benzene, mineral oil, stuff like that.
Okay.
Now, the crucial thing isn't just that they're there, it's what happens when they hit your skin. They don't just sit on top. Your skin is your largest organ, right? It absorbs things.
Right.
So these chemicals get pulled into your pores, they get into your bloodstream, and then your liver has to deal with them. But here's the real kicker.
Oh.
As they're absorbed, these petroleum ingredients can actually pull out essential fat-soluble vitamins. We're talking vitamin A, D, E, and K. They leach them out.
Wow, so the lotion is robbing your skin.
Pretty much. This depletion is what can leave your hands feeling so dehydrated, dry, red, cracked, even really itchy. It's a stark reminder that whatever you put on your skin doesn't just stay there. It goes in.
That is. Yeah, that's kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? You think you're moisturizing, but you might be making the underlying problem worse long-term. Wild. Okay, but it's not just lotions. Here's another one that might surprise people, flowing right out of the tap water.
Ah, yes, tap water.
We think of water as cleansing, pure. But what if I told you that the water itself could be, low-key attacking your skin, slowly aging it every time you wash?
Get those chemicals.
Exactly. Things like fluoride and chlorine. They can be surprisingly harsh, not just on hands, but all over. I've even heard people talk about shower filters for skin health generally. Is that really a factor for hands too? How big a deal is this, like day after day?
That's a great question, and it fits right into the bigger picture of skin health. Yes, the impact of those chemicals is significant. It really adds up over time. And think about combining these things. What happens when you factor in frequent hand washing? Now, obviously, washing hands is crucial for hygiene, stopping viruses, and we absolutely support that, no question.
Necessary.
But if you're washing, say, 10, 15, maybe 20 times a day, which a lot of people are, that constant exposure to those harsh chemicals in the water can just completely strip your hands. They can get terribly dried out, red, itchy, cracked, scaly, and looking older than they should. It's a necessary evil almost that we need to manage the side effects of.
Totally makes sense. And it's not just water and lotions.
Yeah.
What about jobs or hobbies?
Yeah.
External stuff. I remember one winter, my hands felt like sandpaper. Seriously. Is that the kind of thing we mean?
That could definitely be part of it. Think about people who work with soil a lot, gardening.
Or pottery, clay.
Exactly. Or handling industrial solvents. We learned specifically how certain solvents can literally strip vitamin E right out of your skin.
Wow.
Leading to hands that are red, cracked, sometimes even blistery. It just hammers home why wearing gloves in those situations isn't just like a good idea. It's pretty much essential for protecting your skin's barrier and nutrients.
Okay, so we've talked about things we put on our hands, things they get exposed to. But what about this? This invisible world living on our skin. That sounds fascinating. You mentioned it earlier, the skin's own ecosystem. Our hands, our whole body really, are covered in what's called the skin microbiome.
It's incredible.
We're talking thousands of different kinds of friendly microbes, bacteria, and even like 14 types of friendly fungi living right there?
It's truly remarkable. And the key thing is, this isn't something bad we need to get rid of. It's a vital symbiotic relationship, like a partnership.
Symbiotic.
Yeah.
So we help them, they help us.
Exactly. These microbes protect us and we give them a place to live. They are essential partners for our survival. They help make vitamins. They provide immune protection right there on the surface. They're our first line of defense. They are not germs to be killed off. They're our microscopic allies. Which brings up a really important question. What happens when we mess that balance up?
Right. What if we disrupt it?
Well, without enough of these friendly microbes thriving, harmful pathogens can actually get a foothold and cause real problems. And here's another interesting angle. Even microbes that are normally harmless, non-pathogenic ones, they can actually turn pathogenic if their environment gets too stressed out. So simply changing the conditions on your skin, like constantly stripping it with harsh chemicals, can change who lives there and maybe make some of the residents go a little bit crazy, as one source put it. It just highlights how crucial it is to maintain a healthy environment for these good guys to flourish.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So it really is like tending a garden on our skin. What are the most common sort of pesticides we might be accidentally using then, beyond just harsh soaps? And speaking of the skin's environment, you mentioned pH earlier. Healthy skin is acidic, right? Not neutral, like between 4 and 4.5. Why is that acidity so important?
You nailed the pesticides idea. Many things we've already covered. Those solvents and lotions, the chlorine, fluoride, and water, really aggressive soaps, they all act like that, disrupting the garden. And that acidity, that pH between 4 and 4.5, it's absolutely critical. It creates the perfect living conditions for those beneficial microbes we need.
Ah, okay, so the pH supports the good guys.
Precisely. If the pH gets too high, meaning it becomes too alkaline, your skin can actually swell up, get inflamed, and those good bacteria literally can't survive well. This weakens your skin's natural barrier function dramatically, leaving it vulnerable. It just underscores why we have to be so careful about what we put on our bodies. If we use stuff that throws off that natural acid balance, we could be creating new problems instead of fixing the dryness.
We've definitely peeled back some layers here. External attackers like bad lotions, harsh water, and this hidden world on our skin, the microbiome. But what if the real secret to healthy, youthful hands isn't just surface level? What if it's reflecting something deeper inside us?
Now you're getting to a really crucial connection.
This is where it gets really interesting, right? Connecting it all back to our internal health, the way our hands look, maybe even our hair and nails. It's often a direct sign of what's happening inside, which means just rubbing something on is only ever going to be part of the fix.
It's so compelling how profoundly what we eat and just our general lifestyle impacts our skin's health and how it ages. We see these really clear links between certain diets and faster skin aging.
Like what kind of things?
Well, for instance, a diet high in carbohydrates, lots of refined flour products, typical grains, breads, pastas, and also those highly processed vegetable oils, think soy oil, corn oil, canola oil. Those can all contribute to internal oxidations, like your tissues are rusting out from the inside on a cellular level.
Rusting out, that sounds bad.
It is, and that oxidative stress shows up on the outside, on your skin, dullness, less elasticity, that prematurely aged look. But the flip side is also true. Powerful strategies like really cutting back on carbs or practicing intermittent fasting, those can dramatically slow down that internal aging process, which leads to healthier, more vibrant skin, truly from the inside out.
Okay, so putting it all together, if we want truly healthy, vibrant, younger-looking hands, it sounds like there are two main goals. Is that right?
I think that sums it up well.
First, we need to avoid the things making them dry and old in the first place, like those petroleum lotions, the harsh water chemicals, maybe industrial solvents if that applies.
Step 1, remove the offenders.
Yes, and second, we need to recognize, sort of allow to reestablish, and then actively feed the friendly microbes that are supposed to be living on our skin.
Precisely. And that brings us nicely to what we think is just the best ever remedy for dry, aging hands. It's surprisingly simple, totally natural, and it hits both of those goals.
Okay, the solution.
It uses just 3 key ingredients. Each one brings something amazing to the table. First up, 1 egg yolk.
Just the yolk.
It's just the yolk. Think about it. An egg yolk is basically an embryo, right? It's packed with essential nutrients. It's got all those crucial fat-soluble vitamins we talked about being stripped away. Retinol, that's vitamin A, E, D, and K.
Wow, okay.
It also has beneficial omega-3 fatty acids. And lecithin. Lecithin is amazing for softening skin. And interestingly, it's sometimes called an antidote to cholesterol because of how it helps break down fats.
Wow.
Plus, it has choline, which acts like a little delivery truck, helping your skin absorb all those vital fat-soluble nutrients more effectively.
Okay, egg yolk. Got it.
What's next?
Next, you need 1 teaspoon. That's about 14 grams of raw honey.
Raw honey. Does the type matter much?
Manuka honey is often mentioned as being particularly potent if you can find it, but Really, any good quality raw honey works well. Honey isn't just sugar. It's naturally antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal.
Powerful stuff. Yeah. It's great for wound healing, it's anti-inflammatory, and crucially, the natural sugars in honey actually feed those good microbes on your skin. It gives them the fuel they need to thrive and rebuild their community.
Feeding the microbiome.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Okay, ingredient number 3.
And finally, 2 tablespoons, about 26 grams of extra virgin olive oil. But the key here is getting the real stuff. You want high-quality, actual extra virgin olive oil, not one of those diluted or fake ones you sometimes find.
Good tip. So egg yolk, raw honey, and real extra virgin olive oil. Sounds like a potent mix. Nutrient delivery and microbiome support. How do you actually use it?
It couldn't be simpler, really. You just mix those 3 ingredients together really well in a little bowl. Stir them up until you get a smooth paste.
Okay.
Then you just apply that mixture generously all over your hands. Let it sit there for about 20 minutes. That gives it time to really soak in, start the healing, and let those ingredients feed the skin and the microbes.
20 minutes. Then what?
Then you just rinse it off with warm water. No need for harsh soap afterwards, just rinse.
That sounds doable. How often should you do it?
For the best results, we'd recommend doing this twice a week. And here's a really good pro tip. Try doing it right before bed.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That way, your hands get the whole night to keep absorbing the goodness, to heal, and for those beneficial microbes to really settle back in without being immediately washed off or exposed to more stuff.
Smart. And do you notice results quickly?
You likely will notice something right away. Your hands will probably feel, well, extremely soft is how it was described, immediately softer. And if you stick with it, that dryness, the redness, the premature aging, it should really start to diminish. It's quite amazing what this simple, natural approach can do by working with your body's own systems.
And there we have it. Wow. This deep dive really shows that something seemingly simple, like dry hands, is actually tied into this whole complex web external factors, that amazing internal ecosystem on our skin, even our diet.
It's all connected.
It's definitely not just one thing. And the real lasting answers seem to come from understanding that whole picture.
Exactly. And what's truly fascinating to me here is seeing how much our well-being is tied to these invisible ecosystems, like the microbes right on our skin. Our actions, sometimes without even thinking about it, can either help them or harm them.
Yeah.
Which leaves us with a final thought, something for you to maybe ponder as you go about your day. If stressing out our skin's microbes can cause such visible issues, where else might we be accidentally stressing out beneficial ecosystems, both inside our bodies and maybe even in the world around us, without even realizing the impact we're having?
It's a deep thought. The hidden connections. They really are everywhere. Something to definitely think about.